Welcome to MSP Unplugged's Emerging Vendor Series. I'm your host, Paco Lebron. Join us in this new series as we're highlighting ConnectWise PitchIT contestants as we highlight an emerging vendor who is changing the game and making a big impact in the MSP space. But before we go into that, I want to talk about one of my favorite things, and that is TechCon Unplugged. TechCon Unplugged is, believe it or not, less than 2 months away. It will be in Woodbridge, New Jersey, September 7th through the 10th at the Delta Hotels Woodbridge. Join us for an amazing event as we bring the IT community together across 2.5 days of content to help better your business, save money, save time, but most importantly, improve your services. This show is for any size IT solution provider, so most importantly, this is the place for you. Head over to techconunplugged.com to purchase your ticket today. Tickets are still on sale. Again, techconunplugged.com, and we look forward to seeing you there. All right, folks. It's another episode of our emerging series. And who do we have as my co-host? We have none other than Sean Lardo, Economy Evangelist over at ConnectWise. Sean, how are you, my friend?
I am fantastic, Paco. I am somewhere in the state of Virginia. I don't know where. Broadcasting live from a Panera Bread. On my way to see my eldest daughter, because I dropped her off there about 7 months ago for work, and I haven't been back since then. And she was like, "Dude, do you plan on coming to see how I'm living?" And I was like, I guess I better, right? So on my way there, but I had to stop and make sure we did this because this was already booked, and I can't. And I'm such a trooper.
No, and I appreciate you making the commitment. Obviously, family comes first. I also have a daughter as well. She's here for the summer, so obviously making a couple sacrifices, but obviously the time is well spent, especially families first. So definitely cannot hold you against you making the trip over there, and we will take you in any form possible because obviously families first.
Yeah, I appreciate that. And aside from that, though, it's an exciting time for all of us, right? Because last week, ASCII put out the press release with us and the fact that we've collaborated on the Emerging Technology Solution Pavilion piece, where PitchIT vendors are there showcasing their value and with prime location too for them. That they created a whole new inventory list for them at a very cost-effective manner. So they really hooked us up. So that's exciting. Also, we're getting ready. We're less than a month away from the preliminaries with the channel program to find out who's going to move on to be one of the 3 finalists.
Nice. That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, obviously that's what we're here for. Emerging vendors are truly those that are really making an impact, and, going through the program, it's helping kind of alleviate some of those pressures that they're experiencing when trying to develop and provide their solutions and present them over to the MSP channel in space as well. So it's definitely great to hear. Obviously, for those don't know ASCII is a trade show, also a community group and membership site as well. Jerry Katav is the president over there. Great guy, great events. Definitely check them out as well. But I'd like to go ahead and introduce some special guests. First up, she is a cybersecurity expert with over 15 years of experience in the software and cybersecurity industry. She has been recognized as a 2022 top 500 influential CEO by D Magazine, 2021 Innovator in Cybersecurity finalist by D Magazine, 2020 Top 50 Innovator by Dallas Innovates, and most importantly, in my opinion, a top woman in technology by the National Society of Black Engineers, the NSBE. Who am I talking about? I'm talking about none other than Tiffany Ricks, CEO of HacWare. Tiffany, welcome back to MSP Unplugged. How are you today?
Wow.
Wow,
Who
right?
gave you all that information?
My Lord, right? He knows more about you than he does his daughter.
Well, I doubt that. This guy, he is brilliant. He knows his stuff, but I was just expecting you to say this.
Well, I had to show,
right? CEO, founder, HacWare.
I had to show my people some love, and most importantly, last but not least, a man I consider a close friend, a brother from another mother, the man I mentioned in the episode of Tech Talk Tuesday, Resilience and Growth, and as to how integral he has become as a mentor, both in my business and as a professional. I'm talking about the global channel chief of HacWare, Juan Fernandez. Juan, how are you today?
Good to see you guys. I'm well. That was a killer intro for Tiff, though. I would have to I was seeing this swoosh on the back, that was like a drum move. I was like, man, woo!
can we just point out that like your intro was half of hers and mine was half of yours? I mean, can we just
I
point
am
that
totally
out?
fine with that, though.
Well, I'm
I'm
just,
all right.
no, I agree. I'm not fine. That means I have to step my game up and start doing some stuff.
No, I just appreciate that, Paco. That was really, really nice. Thank you for the intro. Thank you for the warm welcome. I'm really excited to be here.
No, absolutely. I think a lot of people had been introduced to you on our previous episode, but I do want to dive in a little bit about a quick intro for you, for those that may have not catch the episode. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and kind of how HacWare came to be?
Absolutely. So, as Paco mentioned, I have been in cybersecurity for a very long time. But what led me on the journey to getting into cybersecurity is I worked for the United States Department of Defense as a software engineer, then moved into security engineering, security researching, and then ethical hacking. Did that as a civilian with the United States Air Force and the Navy. But then I left and I started my own consultancy, which grew and built a managed service practice there. And the reason why I started HacWare was because we were really trying to solve a problem of our own. We were trying to figure out how can we show these organizations, whether they are micro size to, global organizations, how their people are causing them to fall victim to phishing attacks, and how they are the ones that's opening the door, letting the cyber criminals right past all of their complex cybersecurity solutions. And so I needed a way to automate that task of learning about the phishing trends and threats that were happening, looking at in this organization that hired us, which one of their organizations could fall victim to a phishing scam, and then building a phishing simulation to show the organization, to show the people that they are vulnerable to phishing, really built that in-house for us. And so it was a product that was automated. It worked for us. And then we decided, let's go to market and sell to other MSPs who have this. They're concerned about phishing. They have all these end users they need to manage, but how do we make it easy for them to show them that the users are vulnerable and then quickly mitigate that? And we'll explain a little bit more, but that's what really started me on this journey, was having a problem in-house and trying to figure out a way where I can automate that task, because it's really expensive. It was labor intensive, running those phishing exercises. And so we needed to reduce the risk, reduce the costs, and reduce the risk.
Yeah, and I think that your platform, when you were last on, Rick Smith, who is a co-founder of here at MSP Unplugged, is a partner of yours and has raved on just not only the technology and the way that the platform presents itself, but importantly, how it really represents and inclusive of all shapes, sizes, and creeds, right? And I think your platform is one of the few that really embraces that. And so for me being a minority business owner, Rick being a minority business owner, really has allowed those to see themselves, right? And being very inclusive. And I think that's such a rare thing that we are now starting to slowly see more of, but nonetheless very important as well. So again, heard obviously great things about the platform, and we'll obviously dive a little bit more into that as well and later on the episode. But I want to go over to Juan. Juan, you've been on the show a few times here, but wanted to kind of dive into your story on how you kind of came to be the channel chief and found out and got involved with HacWare.
And Paco, I appreciate that, man. One of the things that I look for whenever I'm looking to do business with somebody is somebody that actually cares about community, and has something that's very different, right? When I was an MSP in my business life, in running my MSP practice, one of the things that I look for was, I did a lot of vendor due diligence, and I'd like to work with specific kinds of people that will learn and iterate and help me grow my business. And I remember walking around the expo halls, and I recognized that as I would, walk around with some friends, it would be interesting to see, like, when we come past HacWare, how people would stick around there, and they're like, dude, there's something good about that. And I said, I thought the same thing, and I just wanted to make sure. And so from that, I met Tiffany, and I got to know her story, and I really, really loved the fact that, the way she was coming about it, the technology was new different. And I've looked at pretty much all the other platforms and could tell, there's not a whole lot of special sauce there, but this one did. And I knew it. And I said, you know what? I think we could make a really cool team, because I like the team that was already here, and Tiffany did an amazing job of creating a great culture, but the product was very different and it did something very, very special. And I loved the technology behind it. And so I decided, I was like, you know what? Hey, what if we did this really cool thing together, and we just go and tackle this problem together? And that's how this was formed. And it's really, I hate to say it, but I was the hunch was right. And everybody, that gets to take a look at the platform sees the competitive differences. And I'm just, I like to be around products that improve customer outcomes, B, enable the partner to be successful, and C, to be able to put money into their pockets on a product that we need to do. And plus it's a feel good product, right? It's educating the end user customer. It's making, it's not a hard sell for an MSP. The technology is top notch, right? And it does all those things. It saves a lot of time. And so it's just really synergetic. And I really am proud to be here and be part of this team. And I really do enjoy it. And our partners make it worthwhile. And being on shows like this is really, are really testaments to that fact. So yeah, this is why I'm here, man. Make a difference and be part of something special.
So I got to jump in on something here, right? Since I'm probably the biggest culprit of the challenge and the reason why you guys have a business, right? I'm the end user. and I am the end user of end users. I am the one that says, look at that pretty little thing. I should click on that. Oh yeah, let's see what that is, right? I mean, so
we are here for you, Sean.
Right? I already feel it, right? And so I'm going to go back to you both said something that I want to dig into, which is make it easier, right? Automate this stuff, make it simple for me to understand, right? And then obviously make money for other people. But Tiffany, you're the one that opened up the door with that and said, yeah, we want to make things easier and they got to be safe and whatnot. So how easy is it for them to show me what the hell I'm doing wrong?
It's super easy. So starting from the beginning of deploying the product, we make the deployment easy. You can deploy this out in 15 minutes or less because it's integrating with Microsoft Graph API. So we can immediately pull in the users that need to get the training. It can immediately determine when is the best time to send it, the best content to simulate the phishing attack. It's a 100% automated platform for partners who are busy managing multiple parts of the stack. They can take control, and that's super easy if they want to. But one of the things that I have found, which was also important in my business, was I really wanted to get to the insights in the end versus building out the content, building out and all of the setup. I didn't really want to do all of the setup. And when I did have to do all of the setup, that meant everyone got the same simulation potentially at the same time, or got the same boring video. Everyone got that once a month. And so what we really are trying to do is just make these tedious phishing simulations and security awareness tasks streamline their workflows. And we've done that, and we're continuously doing that, especially with the ConnectWise integration, which we're going to talk more about later.
So I want to jump one step onto that then, right? So almost like retargeted marketing in a way, right? That's what we're talking about here, where you're actually looking at the algorithm of when I'm opening things, when I'm looking at things, when's my highest volume, and when do I click on dumb stuff?
Yeah, I mean, it's just like you can look at it that way. Yeah, so
I do. I'm looking at it exactly like that. Yes.
Yeah, like
okay
targeted marketing, a CRM, potentially like a smart CRM system, potentially.
Sure. Yeah. No, but I'll go one step further than with that too. So, question is. So you as the vendor, you're providing for the MSP is providing for the end user. Is this a multi-tenant platform?
Multi-tenant is multi-tenant, and it's tier tenant, grandparent tenant.
Huh. Okay, explain.
So what I mean by grandparent tenant is one of the trends that I'm seeing in the channel space is channel partners who have a channel partner strategy, and so who sell to other MSPs. And so what they could do is deploy HacWare directly to their customers, their end customers, the SMBs, the mid-markets. And if they have a channel strategy, they can deploy HacWare out to their MSPs that they're providing a service to, and that MSP can deploy that out to their direct customers. So we are really trying to evolve and invest into how this economy is evolving. And so that's what I mean by the tiers.
So I guess it's safe to say that co-managed is not a problem either, because that's exactly, you have similar responsibilities with the channel strategies you do as a co-manage.
That's right.
Okay.
They can deploy this out, and they're in the SMB mid-market. If they have someone who wants to go in and manage the platform, they'll have their own login, their own roles and responsibilities. They can do that.
I have one last question. I'm done, Paco. Is it white labeled? Possible.
Absolutely. That's a given. Yes. No, they absolutely can white label this. So they can white label, put their branding, they can change the product name. They can even change the URL so it doesn't show HacWare at all. And then the cool thing, which Juan loves to highlight, because he focuses on how the MSP can have this board level and CEO level conversation. And it's about, how do we, with the branding right inside of their end users inbox, in their email, where they are every day, they can have their brand there to show their end users that my MSP is here, it's supporting you. This is, we're protecting you and showing you how to protect yourselves from cybercrime. And so they can see that brand every day right in the user's inbox.
Awesome. Okay, I told you, Paco, I won't ask anymore for a bit.
I appreciate that. So I'm going to put you in the corner. No, I'm kidding. So I think that, we obviously went into the technical pieces and really diving into what the platform can offer, but there was something in there that I want to highlight that also was talked about on a weekly call with other MSPs and peers, specifically about how HacWare is doing business. And so what we've heard, and I want to make sure everyone understands, is the collaboration and the understanding of how HacWare can fit in any part of the ecosystem. It's not just with MSP and IT service providers, and it's not just with vendor partners and vendor providers offering the solutions as well, but really the collaboration and integration with other tools. Because as an MSP, as an IT service provider who is really trying to look into cybersecurity, you have to look in this with a baseline or some type of guide. And these are going to be with either frameworks, these are going to be with baselines and well-established compliances that really will speak to how they are doing business. And so one that comes to mind, because you had an amazing setup at, I forgot the event, but I believe it was in Channel Futures, where you had this CIS control, kind of like an area of where you collaborated with several vendors, but specifically talking about the CIS controls and framework. And so what happened was, when we were at PAX 8, there was a fellow MSP that walked to the booth and said, "Hey, I see vendor A and I see vendor B also at the HacWare booth. What's that all about?" And so Juan Fashion says, "We're all showing love together. We're all trying to achieve the same goal. There's enough collaboration for us to be able to achieve what we need for our end user." And it's left such an impression on this MSP, an IT service provider, that, and he's focusing on mid-market and higher, but also having the attention of the SMBs, because some people do look at him for advice on certain things. And he just really boasted on how HacWare is really not only delivering the solution to the channel in the space, but how you're doing it, and the collaboration of, hey, look, you as the service provider, you as the partner, no matter where you are in the ecosystem, we're going to help you get that total solution of what you're trying to look for. Because vendors usually will talk about products and why their tool can do everything and all things, or just talk about their little piece on how to adhere to that framework. Where, in my opinion, HacWare is really focusing on that total ecosystem, but also in the ability of, hey, we've vetted, we've partnered, similar to what ConnectWise is doing right now with PitchIT and vetting and understanding who are the real players that can assist and won't be gone or take advantage of the MSP IT service provider, or just the business tactics in itself. So I think it's such a huge thing to really understand on what you all bring, not only on the technology wise, but really the want to help those that are in the channel as well. Juan, I don't know if you want to add any additional words to that, but
Sure. You know,
that's what I've heard and have observed.
I think it's really awesome that it's being seen, right? Because we are trying to solve the cybersecurity problem, not just with HacWare, right? When we teach our cybersecurity sales masterclass, it's about cybersecurity solutions. It's not about HacWare. HacWare is the easiest thing you could do, and we make it really easy for you to do it. That's not the hard part. The hard part is making the change, right? And so we're changing the industry as we speak, right? By doing the things that we did, the vendors that they saw at that were Aptega and PaxState and ConnectWise. Like, we advertise our partnerships on purpose. It's not because we're not hiding anything, right? We're trying to help the whole community solve the entire problem. And that's where, I mentioned this on another show recently where, it's just that's our mantra, right? It's trying to solve the entire problem. We meet all of the Control 14, and we've been verified by multiple organizations to a point that they've ingested us and integrated with us to show that we meet Control 14 and pieces of 16. But when you look at CIS controls as a whole, there's still 18 other pieces of that puzzle. How are we helping our partners really focus on solving the cybersecurity problem? Or the 5 easy ways to go to market? Like, we're the number one thing to do, check box, right? But now how do I help with the rest of it? They need to be able to keep moving down the stack. And that's what our job is, to try to make sure that they have that ability to start with one thing and then keep moving. And that's why we're bringing that collaboration component together, is like, because there's some good vendors in this space that are doing the right thing. And those are the ones that we're partnering with, similar to ConnectWise. It's just one of those things where it makes sense. And I think that, for us, our intent is to try to help our partners more than anything. And I'm glad that it's showing, and it really makes me proud to see that people are talking about it in a very positive way. So yeah, thanks for illustrating that, Paco. But yeah, no, I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, absolutely. And then for those that don't know, we are referring to CIS control, critical internet security controls version 8 of Control 14 at the time of this recording. My understanding, there is a version 9 coming soon. So for those that are not, we don't know if Control 14 will still be the case of Control 14, but just want to make sure everyone either did not know the acronym or what we were referring to. Head over to CIS's website to learn more if that is a framework you're possibly considering or looking into. But as far as we've talked about you're participating in the PitchIT program, right, and kind of going through this incubator process. Juan, you're a bit of a veteran as well in this process. For those that don't know, can you tell me a little bit about how PitchIT has been instrumental for HacWare, and how has that been really helping just with kind of meeting partners and kind of getting that FaceTime one-on-one?
Yeah, I'll go first, and I'll let Tiffany kind of round it up on the back end. But, I think the one big thing with PitchIT, and again, I was one of the judges last year, right? So I know a lot about it. And I said, hey, look, I don't think I should be the one that does the pitching, because I know about this. And so Tiffany is going to be the one taking the amazing stage this year. I may make a small feature, right? I might be putting up some bunny ears in the back or something, but I don't know if Sean's going to let me do it. But that being said, I think it's really important for vendors to embrace this, right? Like, that's one of the hardest things. And again, as in a startup land, is trying to get your name out there. And I think that PitchIT does a really good job of that. I mean, we're on this show right now. This might not be something that we might have ever found before if we didn't have relationships, and we didn't know the vendor community, and we didn't know all the right places and programs to be on. We could be lost in the dark. And I think that PitchIT does a good job of bringing that flashlight and say, hey, here's all the cool places to come and visit first, right? And let us usher you to the front of the line. And it's been really cool from an attention perspective, lots of social, and it's a fun competition. And there's a lot of community being built there. There's a number of the vendors that are all getting together to do co-marketing webinars, which are joining their communities together. So I personally believe in it, and we wouldn't be participating in it. I did, make a recommendation to Tiffany, and she thought, let me look into this a little bit. And I feel really strongly that it's doing a good job. So Sean, kudos to you and to ConnectWise for putting it together. We'll continue to be a big piece of this and really embrace it. But Tiffany, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think initially I was a little bit hesitant because we're so busy. And Juan was telling me he thinks it's a great opportunity. You should check it out. I was a judge last year, and I was just thinking, I don't know how we're gonna fit this in. We have a lot of things that we're doing already, but I definitely the reason why I said yes was the strategic opportunity of what is important to me. Two things. What Juan said was, I want people to know who we are. It's important for us to help our partners get access to them. It's important for us to help them solve this problem, which is a number one concern. And if they don't know about us, then we can't help them. And so I saw this as a great opportunity for us to expand our reach. And then the other key thing was, I'm always a student and I'm always trying to learn. And the goal that I gave my team was this year was we need to get focused and really try to understand our customer, the solution providers, understand what their real pain points are, what is really try to understand our target persona and get macro to understand every element of their decision-making process. And this gave my team and I a better opportunity to learn about our customers. So those are the two things that and it's delivered. So we're increasing our brand. We're able to be on this show, which is exciting. And then the other key thing is week over week, we're learning more about, how to best serve our customers.
That's awesome. Sean?
You're muted.
Sounds like you're muted or your mic's off.
How about now? Is that better?
Yep.
Perfect. So, what I was saying so eloquently before when I was muted, it was the most brilliant thing I ever said. So I can't remember exactly what that was, but I'll say what I thought of second, which is Tiffany should definitely be the presenter because she's better. No.
No way.
No. So, okay. So to be clear though, I'm the one that asked Juan to be a judge last year because of his knowledge of the space. Correct. Because he has great knowledge of the space on both sides of the house, which is very unique, right? Because not many people can say they've been on both successfully. Many people have been on both sides successfully, not so much. Also, because he is an avid student of all this stuff, it makes it easier, right? Second, I'm the one that approached Juan and said, you should be in the competition. You should look at this. And he was like, nah, it's not a good idea because I was a judge. And I was like, I don't care. And he's like, we're really busy. So all the excuses Tiffany gave, Juan gave me.
Because he probably heard it from me.
Yeah, I think he did, right? But again, it only made sense, especially because cybersecurity is such a hotbed. Obviously, it is, and it really is a struggle point for most MSPs to know what the hell it even means. Like, I literally just did a presentation with my CISO at Secure about all the different layers that's in a stack, and I was like, tell me what are your deliverables? He's like, what do you mean deliverables? I'm like, well, what do you cover when you talk about cybersecurity? Like, tell me what compartmentalize this stuff. And so he did, but it was like pulling teeth because even he is a CISO, he knows it, but to articulate it is different than knowing.
Sure.
So, it is. It's, you second nature. Probably for you, Tiffany, you've been doing it for so long. It's second nature. Like, yeah, duh. But I'm like, duh. Like, tell me, I don't know what's going on. Give me the compartments. Tell me the deliverables. Tell me what layer does this make up and what is it called? And so it was a natural fit for you guys to join. Now, I didn't accept you guys, just so you know. This is a team thing. So anybody that's watching this, it wasn't Sean said HacWare's in. It literally is a group of people that assess all the applicants. And the assessment takes place from looking at their form, the form they filled out, the short and the long form really is the important one. And then we look at the social presence, we look at the website, we make sure things match up because it's very important because there's too many fly-by-night businesses that we've all seen show up and disappear. And also there's too many buzzwords that you don't know what the hell they do. Of course, they do everything at the end, right? At the end of the day, they do everything. And it's like, no, you don't. So no, the assessment we did is thorough on every vendor to make sure that they're legitimate. But it's nice to have you guys involved because, you know, there's two parts to this for me. One is having really good participants. The other is having really good participants that help to increase the awareness of the program.
Yep.
To make it more successful every single year. And so you guys are great partners, not as just vendors, but partners as to the program itself. And so it's appreciated. It really is. And honestly, if you don't win, then Juan looks bad. Just so we're clear. Juan
So-
does.
I hope we're not rooting for that.
Well,
Like,
you know, I'm competitive, so I told Juan, I was like, if we get in there, then we're gonna go to win. Like we're gonna do what we can to win if we
Yeah.
get in there.
I know.
tell you
It'll be,
what,
it'll be great for Juan.
I'm passing out 50s right outside the door. So if you're coming to IT Nation and you're listening to PitchIT, just hit me up for a $50 bill, man.
That's hilarious. Now, I know that we're close to the end of the episode, but I do want to talk about how it is to embrace HacWare and the kind of the process of how do they approach HacWare to become a partner. How does that journey look like as far as how long does it take for them to go from prospect to being a partner and kind of be on the road running to utilize the platform? Can you share a little bit about how to engage HacWare to be a partner, and then how long does it take for them to kind of spin up and hit the ground running?
Absolutely. You know, one of the really great ways you can do is you can come by the website, www.hacware.com/MSP, fill out the form. You can get to us really quickly. We'll call you back and ping you within that day and set you up for a demo. And one of the things I will say that we've done and changed a whole lot of is that vendor acquisition cost. What does it take to get us into and get this product into our hands? We have a really quick, easy onboarding. We have a quick 30-minute demo. So we're not going to take up a lot of your time. You can decide whether you love us or want to be friends. And then from that point, we do a 14-day trial, not even 30 days, 14 days. You'll find out real quick whether or not you love the platform. And a lot of MSPs do within the first 7. So we're not stretching you out over 30 days, bugging you because we know time is precious. So 14-day conversation, you try it, you like it, super simple, you stay on. And with us, it's really easy. So we'd love to have anybody that wants to jump over and experience like this next generation, cyber education platform, and have them just come over and just ping us or find us on LinkedIn. Tiffany and I are there all the time, all over social, or find us at an event coming near you next.
Awesome.
Or in
Tiffany,
the ConnectWise.
Can I add one thing? Can I add one thing to that though?
Uh-huh.
What you just said.
I said, or in the ConnectWise marketplace.
ConnectWise
Yes, the ConnectWise marketplace, and that just totally leads to my point.
You have 30 seconds.
You're
Sean.
you're absolutely right. 14 days you'll know. Within 2 days you'll know. You guys are one of the fastest companies to get through the certified integration piece and announce it with ConnectWise. So it just it's a testament to actually getting shit done, essentially, which I think that's what everybody wants to do as a business owner.
That's right.
You can come hear us on the Battle Royale with PitchIT. That's one of the next places you'll be able to see us virtually.
Absolutely.
And we will actually have HacWare back on this show in a couple of weeks as well. So we'll dive even more into the philosophies and on the platform as well. Tiffany, Juan, I greatly appreciate your time today. I think it was a great information. It's always a great conversation to have with you both. Sean, another one in the books. We will be having a couple more after this one. And we thank all of you for tuning in. Tune in every Wednesday and Thursday. Catch more of this series. Watch the video podcast on youtube.com/MSP Unplugged. Like, subscribe, and hit the notification button to be notified when a new episode is available. Again, we want to thank you for watching, and we will see you next time on MSP Unplugged.